3 things to do as soon as you get paid. Rich way of managing money. People get excited as soon as they get their first paycheck. They buy things that they've been wanting to buy. They spend it like there's no tomorrow. Well, we can't judge them, but don't you think it's better if they just learned what to do for their first paycheck? In this video, I will share with you exactly what you should do as soon as you get paid, and if you're new to the channel, then hit the subscribe button below. I'll be the first to admit that getting paid feels absolutely great, but unfortunately, many people simply have no idea what to do with their money when they receive it, and as you probably guessed, without a plan. This, more often than not, leads to the money being spent on frivolous items, but even with a budget in place, proper spending can be tough. Americans are clearly overspending each and every month. Another problem is what they're spending their money on. The average adult in the United States spends $1,497 a month and on essential items according to a recent study. All told, that's roughly $18,000 a year on things we can all do without. And that's a lot of money considering the extent to which Americans are letting their savings and other crucial goals fall by the wayside. The top 3 non-essential expenses that are crippling these saving efforts, Americans include eating out at restaurants, buying drinks, and ordering takeout. As you can see, there is a lot of progress that can be made when it comes to the management of money in the United States. One of the first steps to better financial health is having a reliable plan that you can use when you get paid. Given that many people either don't have a budget in place or don't find the one they use effectively, I want to start from scratch when explaining exactly how you should allocate your money when you get paid, and later in this video, I will go over 3 money management tricks I use every month to ensure I hide my money goals. When you get paid, it's important to allocate your money towards the different types of financial commitments you have, and one method I recommend people use is the percentage model. If you're unfamiliar with a percentage model, it's essentially a breakdown of where your income should be allocated on a monthly basis. The percentage model is split into 3 categories: saving variable expenses, fixed expenses, and housing. While housing is usually a fixed expense given that it makes up a significant portion of the average person's total monthly expenses. Now, in order to use this money management tool properly, you need to understand what costs should be incorporated into each of the 4 categories. So let's first start with savings. Your savings category will include contributing to your savings or investment account, paying down debt, or supplementing your emergency fund until you've achieved anywhere from 6 months to a year's worth of a reserve of living expenses. As you will see, this category makes up the smallest proportion of your income allocation. However, it is by far the most important. You see, the other 3 categories require you to expend money on items that will keep you afloat on a day-to-day basis, but the money allocated to your savings category helps you improve your financial situation by reducing interest payments or helping or else grow by investing more money into your investment portfolio. The next category includes your variable expenses. This can include anything from food and drink, gas and clothing. Now, as I already mentioned, Americans spend a lot of money on non-essential items, and this is the category that is responsible for these unneeded purchases. As a result, it is imperative to stick to the amount you've set up for yourself when spending money on this category. Every single month, the 3rd categories are your fixed expenses, and this includes things like your car payment, utilities, bill, and life insurance. As you can tell by the name, these are the type of expenses that don't need very much by month, which certainly helps when keeping the money spent on these items under control. The final category in this percentage model is housing. For the majority of people, this cost exists in the form of either rent or mortgage payment. And while you would think that these expenses would be hard to mismanage, the mistake actually takes place before you ever spend a single dollar on this type of expense. You see, so many people take on a more expensive apartment or bigger home than they need, which can then leave them cash-strapped trying to afford the monthly payment. Now that you have a good grasp on the 3 categories of the percentage model, you need to know how much of your after-tax income to allocate to each of them every single month in the model. I recommend the following: 15% will be put towards savings, 30% towards variable cost, 30% towards fixed expenses, and finally, 25% towards housing. Now, these percentages may vary over time depending on your money goals, but for someone just starting out in their journey, To better financial health, these percentages will work for the majority of people. From my personal experience, using the percentage model is a reliable way to ensure you make progress towards your financial goals each and every month. But I will admit that it does take quite a bit of ongoing effort for me. This effort meant spending less time and making money, which is why after using the percentage model for a while, I decided to hack the system to make it as hands-off as possible. Here are 3 ways. Step 1. Open up the right accounts. The first step in simplifying the percentage model and automating your financial management process is opening up the right accounts. When using this model, most people will operate out of a single checking or savings account, but doing so only adds to the effort you will have to spend on a monthly basis to make the strategy work, besides the standard checking and savings account where you store money you want to save. You will want to open an emergency fund, a debt repayment account, and an investment account so that all the elements in your savings category are covered. Number 2. Set up automated deductions. In the United States, 82% of workers are paid via direct deposit, and if you make up this majority, then you are definitely able to leverage the power of automated deductions. Once you begin to employ this technique in your own financial management plan, you will realize that over time, you will need to allocate your income where your money can be best used now. I think this automation technique works so far for many people for 2 main reasons. First, it allows you to pinpoint exactly how much you want to save and invest as long as you set up the deduction percentage properly. You can rest assured that you will be putting the correct amount of money into the respective accounts every month. Second, using automated deductions removes the need to constantly think about your finances, and in my case, allows me to focus on other important things like improving my skills in order to make more money. So in order to streamline part of your finances, you should definitely be leveraging the power of automated deductions. Number 3. Automate bills and credit card payments. Paying bills is a drag, but trying to remember to make timely payments only further adds to the pain, as you should also use the power of automation to ensure your housing variable and fixed expenses get paid in full and time. By using this money management technique, one thing you must be aware of is that just because you have set percentages assigned for your spending categories doesn't mean they can't be adjusted to suit your changing financial goals. So, that's it for the 3 things that you can and you should do after you get paid. No more long outros, but thanks again for watching and don't forget to subscribe.